If you look around the NBA, a lot of guys don't just have lean and slender frames, they are very well defined. Guys like SGA, Amen Thompson, Dennis Schroeder is a sleeper, Jaylen Brown, and Kawhi. Kawhi has a little bit more muscle, but he's very lean. So for those of you who are either on the heavier side, have a lot of muscle but are not lean, or are very thin with no muscular definition, this is how you lose fat, get lean, build muscle definition like an NBA pro. So first, let's start off with those of you who are on the heavier side. And the answer is short and sweet. It's to eat less. And you're gonna wanna eat less calories than your body requires, and your body will take care of the rest. Now, I do have a few tricks, pretty good tricks of how I personally do this. So stay tuned, we'll come back to that. But eat less, calories in, calories out has always been the rule, and you'll be good. And if you don't know how much less food or calories you should be eating, you just wanna make sure you're in a calorie deficit, go online, look up a calorie counter, be honest with the information that you're putting in, because it'll only be as useful as the information that you're putting in. If you're only working out 3 days a week or 2 days a week, be honest with that. If you're not physically active, be honest with that, and it'll give you something somewhat accurate. Now, obviously, it'll give you a number, say you need 2,000 calories a day for you to lose a pound a week. You're gonna roll with that. You're gonna practice it for maybe a week or two, I'd say max 2 weeks. If you see changes that are looking good, continue with it. But if you're doing it and it's not accurate and you feel like you're not losing weight, make the adjustments on the fly. Don't keep doing the same thing, because you're gonna end up wasting time. So after you've corrected your diet, the next thing you're gonna do is up your activity. Now, generally for hoopers, this is not an issue. I mean hoopers that love basketball, not people that just play basketball on a basketball team. If you love to hoop and you're outside every day hooping, you really don't have this issue. But for those of you who are on the heavier side, chances are that's not you. So you're gonna have to get more work in outside of your basketball games and your team basketball practices. You can do some intense drills by yourself. You can go for walks, go for jogs, anything to increase that baseline activity level. And honestly, this goes for those of you who are not just heavy and relatively fat, but also muscular and wanna lean out a bit. If you're muscular and feel like you're too big and you're not efficient, can't move as well and stuff like that, and you wanna lean out, you're gonna do the exact same things. Lower your calorie intake and increase your cardio. And then obviously if you're fat, you're gonna do the same. But the problem is, for those of you who were fat and lost the weight, now you're in the new category of being very thin with no muscular definition. So between those two adjustments alone, you pretty much have taken care of the lose fat and get lean categories. And now you just wanna make sure you're getting that muscle definition. So if you've seen my previous video, how to build athletic muscle like an NBA pro, this is basically where you start. If you are lean with no muscular definition or very thin with no muscular definition, this is the starting grounds for you. Meaning, if you're skinny and you have no muscle showing, it's because you have no muscle to show. Point blank, period. You could take two very skinny people. One person may have abs, one person may not have abs. The difference between them is not that one's not skinny or one's skinnier. It's that one has abs to show. And that's because they have the muscle definition, the muscle development underneath the fat, so that when they get to a certain point, it shows. Now, there are some people with so much definition that even when they are higher body fat percentage, AKA a Zion Williamson, it looks like they're relatively lean. So making sure that you develop the muscle underneath is going to help you get that muscle definition. So to recap, if you're heavier or you're fat, calories in, calories out, you want to improve your diet and increase your cardio. As a result, your body will make up the difference by burning fat from your body. With that may come a little bit of muscle if you have muscle to lose, but that's why we train hard. If you're big and muscular and probably also have a high body fat percentage and you want to lean out, maybe to be more efficient, optimal, or aesthetic, you're gonna do the same thing. Increase the cardio, improve the diet. Now the thing is, in the gym, you're probably not gonna wanna lift with as much volume because you have the muscle already. You don't wanna get to a point where you're just bigger and bigger and bigger. So at that point, you're just gonna focus on getting stronger, decrease the overall volume or reps that you're doing in the gym. And lastly, if you're thin with no muscular definition, watch my last video. I'll link it below or somewhere and you could check it out. It'll give you everything you need. Now, a few tricks for you big backs. I'm a big back, so these methods are tried, true, and tested because they're developed by me, or I've come up with them by myself. So
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So number one is you're going to drink water, and essentially only water, no milk, no juice. Those two things can help you rack up calories like very, very rapidly. And as a result, you gotta limit your intake of those two things. Essentially, water is all you really need, so just drink water. Another important point is that a lot of times when you think you're hungry, you're actually dehydrated. And for those of you who don't actively drink water, your body knows that, hey, I only get water from food, or I only get water from juice. I'm gonna crave juice, I'm gonna crave food. So it's something to be mindful of. Like when you start drinking more water, your body will get better at triggering you to say, go get water versus food or juice. The second thing is to replace all fried foods with baked foods. Now this is simply an oil thing, but I'm making it very simple for you guys. Just replace fried with baked. Oils are very dense in calories, so they could rack up your calorie count very easily, and they're hard to track. Like you can't really account for all the oil that you intake within a day. So it's just better to limit it overall. If you could remove it, it would be even better. But I know it's not the most realistic. So replace all fried foods with baked food. My third tip is to eat with a purpose and remove all snacking if you can. If you can't, just have planned snacking. If you don't have time for a meal at a certain time, have a planned snack instead. But you have to remove the snacking. And the thing is, majority of you who do snack don't know you're a snacker yet. So you gotta pay attention to your habits and limit your snacking. It's really easy to rack up calories. You're on the game eating chips, eating Oreos, and those calories are skyrocketing. So be careful with that. Even energy drinks, that's a big one. Energy drinks, when you're on the game, completely can destroy your diet. So make sure you're just being mindful of what you're intaking when it's not accounted for. With that being said, thank you for watching. As always, it's getting warm outside. It's summer almost, so stay safe. OKC is doing their thing. Life is good. So I'm Jiggy Hills, and I'm out, bruh.